and host of Sunday Night in America, and more importantly, former prosecutor Trey Gowdy joins us now. So great to see you.
You too, Charlie.
Thanks for coming in this morning.
Yes, sir.
So, you hear Democrats talk a lot about, the tyranny of the Trump administration, but you never hear them talk about the tyranny of crime in their cities.
And who does crime impact the worst? It is a tax on people who can least afford to pay it. So if you look at crime rates, it disproportionately impacts communities of color and lower socioeconomic groups, which Democrats claim to care about. I don't know that you and I are worried about living in a crime-ridden neighborhood. It's the people who hear gunshots and can't afford to move away. I got bad news for J.P. Pritzker. Feds don't have to ask his permission. They can enforce federal law wherever they want, with or without his help.
And he talks about, and a lot of Democrats talk about how, well, look at the numbers, they've come down or whatever. And, the idea that 200 murders in a year is somehow an improvement is pretty scary. But I think it's interesting. They never talk about what policies they embrace that might drive crime down, because I don't think that if it does drop, it didn't have anything to do with any of their policies.
I would say there are 2 points there. Number one, going from historic highs to slightly less is a drop, but that is not something to celebrate. And if there's any area that is more prone to misinformation, it would be crime stats. Yeah. We had a city in South Carolina that recorded 0 DUIs for a year. Yeah. I mean, do you really think nobody drove impaired in that city, or they just didn't catch them? I pay more attention to perception. Do people feel safe? And the answer is no in these large cities.
Right.
And police presence deters. And again, Donald Trump doesn't have to ask J.P. Pritzker to go enforce federal law.
Right. Okay, so you're out with a new book.
Yes, sir.
It's your first novel.
Yes, sir.
It's The Color of Death, a novel by the one and only Trey Gowdy. What inspired you to write a novel?
Being a prosecutor, same thing your brother was. You and I were talking off air. It's my favorite job. People, I think, are fascinated by who did it and why they did it. And I did it for nearly 2 decades. So I want the reader to know the real story, Charlie, not the miniseries, not what television portrays, but the real story that your brother and I lived of what it's like the night you get a call that there's been a homicide, all the way till the courtroom lights go dim, the relationship with the cops. You were a cop beat reporter earlier in your career. That's a unique relationship. There's also psychology in that book, what grief and loss does, not just to the victim's family, but also those of us that were surrounded by it for 2 decades. I want the reader to feel like a homicide prosecutor while they read this book.
So I'm assuming that you probably, and I can't wait to read this, but I'm assuming that you drew from a lot of the cases that you prosecuted.
One in particular, but yes, I drew a lot. It is fiction.
Right.
But I actually used names of people that meant a lot to me in my former life. There's a character in there who's now the lead prosecutor in the largest circuit in South Carolina. Her name is Cindy Crick. She was my right hand when I was in the courtroom, and now she's the boss. So there's a character named Cindy. But it's fiction. But everything is instructed by what really happened in life. I mean, that's what allowed me, I think, to be authentic, is I lived it for nearly 2 decades.
And obviously there is no higher calling than bringing justice to communities. Do you miss that?
I do. It was the most fulfilling job I had of all. But, there was a Mother's Day, my mom and my wife sat me down and said, you have to go do something else, because it really impacts your soul when you're surrounded by it. So people say, why'd you run for Congress? I didn't run for anything. I ran from something. It is to put yourself in the stead of a rape victim, a murder victim, takes an incredible toll on you emotionally and spiritually. So the 2 most important women in my life said, you got to go do something else. That's actually how I met your brother, because my mom and wife said, you got to get out of the courtroom. I mean, I lived it, Charlie. I could never leave it at work. I could never leave it there.
But you have to have those great prosecutors, because if you don't have them, then those people don't have a voice.
That's true. And speaking for someone who cannot speak for themselves because they're too scared, too injured, or too dead to do it is, as you say, the highest calling of all.
So you've spent a lifetime writing, but you're usually writing facts and the truth. What was the biggest challenge about writing a novel?
Points of view. getting in. I mean, I view life as kind of God narrating, kind of looking down, saying, this is what happened. But the points of view, it took me a minute to kind of embrace, you know, multiple points of view. The courtroom scenes came naturally.
Of course.
The interactions with the cops, I didn't have to work on that. But and my wife, it was important to her that there be light in this book. I mean, I'm cynical, not known for my light, but there is a character in there that really is based on my wife's personality, is nonstop light.
Well, I can't wait to read them. I'm going to look for the light when I read
You'll see it.
The Color of Death. So can't wait. Thank you so much.
Thank you, brother.
Great to see you.
Appreciate it. Yes, sir.
I'm Steve Doocy.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.